Well, the Indian market is really not the easiest one compared to others in the world. The prices are really under pressure in the Indian market. But what we can say and what really is our focus is that we also focus on quality. And in the end, quality always pays off for the customer and especially for the patient because you've got reliable results. The HbA1c net is we call it new enzymatic test. It is an enzymatic test that determines the HbA1c concentration in the patient sample's blood. We provide the customer with the whole package of it. We provide the customer with the reagent to run the test, we provide the customer with the calibrators, and we provide the customer with the controls for that test. Most of the actual tests in the market are immunoturbidimetric tests for HbA1c determination based on photometric platforms. These tests require a lot of calibration points and therefore a lot of reagent is already used for the calibration. With the enzymatic test, you only need 2 calibration points with a double fold determination in this case. So this is very easy of use for the customer. It also saves costs in the end, and it is an easy procedure. With the outstanding calibration stability in addition, which ensures that over at least on the Response 910 platform, you have a 3-week calibration stability that ensures you that you only have to calibrate once every 3 weeks. We always focus on new products in our company. Of course, sometimes there are some gaps. Sometimes you have 1 or 2 years where maybe nothing new or nothing really new is coming out, because development is something you cannot plan. You cannot plan 100% next year I want to bring the new test to the market. Yeah. It's always problematic. Yeah. You always face challenges. You face new challenges day by day with that. And we have a strong focus on quality. This is why we would not release a test to the market really which is not ready to be used in the market. DiaSys exists now for 28 years in the market, and it really exists on the global market for 28 years. DiaSys was always looking for a long-term relationship to its customers. This is important to DiaSys. We don't really always focus on the short business. We want to really grow the business together with our customers, and this is how we also look for our customers. We look for a long-term cooperation and we look for a long-term partnership. And this is our strategy. This is how we work.
As you may be aware that India is a huge country and most of the labs, or if you talk about the change in the organized sector, those are available in the metros and the tier cities or tier 1 cities only. Our idea was to be present in these larger cities, but also to go down to the tier 2 and tier 3 towns of the country. And for that reason, we thought let's choose a partner which has certain credibility attached to the name, the brand, and they are able to give us the after-sales service. Now in the remote areas, especially if you are in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, you want a robust platform. The throughput should be good. Secondly, the stability of the reagents or the raw materials is very important. And third is the after-sales service. Sure. And we considered various companies, and we found a couple of companies which really suited the bill. And DiaSys was one of those, and that's the reason why we, tied up with DiaSys. And why in the middle segment is again, the platform we've chosen are, they give us up to 200 tests per hour, and that was pretty much the requirement of the tier 2 cities. So one is that for any partnership to succeed, it's very important that it has to be a two-way traffic. A partner should understand the pain. It's very important for both the partners to appreciate as to what they have to offer to each other. And we thought that DiaSys is a good partner for us. Very clearly, as we are spreading our wings into the other parts of the country, our aspiration is to be pan-India over the next 4 to 5 years' time. And given the scalability of our labs, we thought we need somebody with a good technology. At the same time, yes, so if we have to go by our motto, I think motto is very clear that we want to give accurate results with a very quick turnaround time at affordable price. If the partner is following these 3 parameters, I think it's a good thing for us, and we are game to kind of join hands with such a partner. One thing which I find good about the HbA1c which DiaSys is offering is that it can be done from the same machine, same equipment, from where we're doing the chemistry analysis. So to that extent, we thought that it will require lesser space for us in the labs, in the smaller labs, and that is one. Secondly, the technology as such, which is being used by DiaSys in running this particular test, is second to none. I would rate it, the accuracy levels to be pretty good. The onboard stability of the reagents is good. So in every respect, I think we find it interesting. So I think the idea is to gain. Normally, you find HbA1c is available in the larger cities. In the smaller towns, in the suburban areas, generally people don't keep the equipment to run the HbA1c test. Given the fact that we are in the tier 3, tier 4 towns, we are able to give a quick turnaround time by using some technology which is available to us. I think it always gives an edge to us. To the doctors, to any endocrinologist or to a diabetologist or even an internal medicine doctor, I think it's important that they are able to start the treatment for the patient at an early stage. And to that extent, I guess this technology by DiaSys is going to be helpful since we are bringing this down to those smaller labs in the tier 3, tier 4 cities.
Well, we always look for some niche parameters, for some gaps to fill in. Yeah, of course, we are coming from the routine clinical chemistry. This is what DiaSys was built on. DiaSys was founded in 1991. We were the first company producing only liquid stable reagent, which was not normal at that time. Now it's becoming, since years, this is now the used technology. This is standard now. That's how everybody works. At that time, it was unique. So we always try to keep up, to bring new additional features, new additional aspects, new additional products to the end customer and add additional value. Well, DiaSys India is now, in its actual state, is now 5 years old. And for the next 5 years, of course, we want to grow. We want to grow our business. We want to strengthen our partnership with our existing partners, with our existing business partners. Yeah. That's what is our focus. We really want to stay strong in the market. We want to develop the market. We want to develop the market together with our customers. This is our main focus.
So it's interesting thing. There's a huge dearth of supply of quality diagnostic services in our country, especially in the smaller towns. While we have about 100,000 plus labs, yet the quality of diagnostics which is being provided from those labs is a big question mark. While we have got organized sector and people are doing a great job, at the same time I think we need superior quality diagnostic services from those tier 3, tier 2, tier 4 towns where people need the services at an affordable price. So I see the huge dearth today, and the way market is kind of ramping up, we see this market growing at a rate of about 15-16% over the next few years, as I can see. So first of all, we have a model which is rather unique. We have a hub, a sub-hub, various sub-hubs and then spokes. So it's a 4-tiered service platform that we have created. At the helm we have the reference lab, then we have large network labs in the larger cities. In the smaller towns we have what we call as the rapid response labs, and in the periphery these are supported by collection centers. So we are trying to give a universal coverage in terms of reaching out to the masses in various geographies. Our aim is to ferry the sample from the collection point within 2 hours to the closest lab, so that we are able to run the test at a faster pace and are able to give a quick turnaround to the doctors.
Well, that's a really important customer to us. Yeah? It's a really important customer, especially here in the region in the north of India, around Delhi. Yeah? And I think we started around 2 years ago.
18 months back.
18 months back, something around that. Yeah. So that's really something that just started, and hopefully it really develops for the future, and we really seek something that really grows in the future and brings us closer together, and also that we can support you in the future to get additional value to you and also to your customers, and finally to get good results to the patients, which is most important, and which I think is also your first goal.
It's been good so far. I think the markets where we are, as I said, it's important that our business partner, supplier of equipment, they understand the pain points, which DiaSys actually they do understand. They are trying to give us the after-sales services, which are nice. As of now, we have not faced any problem, and I'm hoping that as we are spreading our wings into the other states, other part of the country, we continue to get the same sort of services from DiaSys. And obviously, I think it's coming from the top. Since Jan is here and he has a special focus for India, and especially for PathKind, we are thankful that we are getting good services from DiaSys and continue to do so.